Hello and welcome to NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. GRAP-4 restrictions are back in Delhi NCR as the AQI breached the 400 mark, considering the steep rise in the AQI of Delhi owing to highly unfavorable meteorological conditions and absolute calm wind conditions. The CAQM subcommittee on GRAP, in fact, called for an emergency meeting, and now severe plus air quality. In fact, GRAP-4 has been implemented in Delhi NCR with immediate effect. Classes for students from 5th to 9th standard and 11th standards will be run in hybrid mode in Delhi, Gurugram, Faridabad, Ghaziabad and Noida.
A lot of revisions have been done in this whole GRAP-4, in fact, whole procedures now for the people who are living inside Delhi NCR. There is a stopping of the entry of truck traffic into Delhi except for trucks carrying essential commodities providing essential service. Now, strict ban is imposed on applying of Delhi registered diesel operated BS4 and below heavy goods vehicles in Delhi, except those carrying essential commodities. Now, ban on construction and demolition activities as it was in the GRAP third stage as well, because what we saw is that in the evening only around 4 p.m. The GRAP third was implemented in Delhi NCR, because what we saw is that the AQI had crossed the 300 mark. Now at 10 p.m. the AQI rose to 400 mark, and that is why now in Delhi NCR the construction and demolition activities is also banned, also for linear public projects such as highways, roads, flyover, etc. Also, state government in the NCR is to mandatorily conduct classes in schools for children, even for higher classes, that is from class 6 to class 9 and 11 in hybrid mode. Okay. Also in the territorial jurisdiction of National Capital Territory of Delhi and in districts of Gurugram, Faridabad, Ghaziabad and Gautam Buddha Nagar. Right. The NCR state government may also conduct classes for students as above in hybrid mode in other areas of NCR. Also, for state government, it is their decision on allowing public, municipal and private offices to work on 50% strength and the rest to work from home. Now, these are some restrictions that the people in Delhi NCR may face because of the GRAP-4 implementation in Delhi NCR.
Shiv Sena MP Milan Dera, in fact, launched a veiled attack on his former party, the Congress, and said that the Congress party, there is a lack of democracy. In fact, during the constitution debate, Milan Dera slammed Congress's alleged anti-corporate rant and said some raise corporate monopoly, but what about the monopoly within the party?
Some parties today very vociferously voice their opinion on market monopolies, but they still haven't been able to counter monopolies within their own parties. So let us be honest. World over, when we look at democracies, when we look at political parties, ultimately the health of a country's democracy is dependent on the democratic health of its parties. I have not named any party, but I urge parties, those who know who I'm talking about and have a guilty conscience, please introspect. Please try to democratize.
Prime Minister Museum and Library has formally requested the return of personal letters written by India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, which were allegedly taken by Congress leader Sonia Gandhi in 2008 during the UPA regime. In a letter written on December 10th, Prime Minister Museum, in fact, member Rizwan Qadri wrote to Congress MP Rahul Gandhi urging him to retrieve the original letters from Sonia Gandhi or provide photocopies. The letters were reportedly packed into 51 boxes and sent to Sonia Gandhi in 2008. Now, BJP has picked this up. BJP MP Sambit Patra slammed the Congress party and has, in fact, insinuated that what is the Congress party hiding that they don't want the nation to do. Meanwhile, the Congress has hit back and said these are just diversionary tactics.
Jawaharlal Nehru's letter to Edwina Mountbatten, Jawaharlal Nehru's letter to and correspondence with Jai Narayan ji, all these have been censored. These have been taken by the Gandhi family, particularly UPA chief then, the UPA chairperson then, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi took these letters. My question to Rahul Gandhi is, what was it between Nehru ji and Edwina Mountbatten that you needed to hide it? Return it.
We all know that BJP wants to divert from the real issues. Real issues is the issues which concern people, and we all know that BJP and RSS and Godse Wad always have problem with Nehru and Gandhi.
प्रधानमंत्री लेटर एक्सचेंज हुआ है, निश्चित रूप से वो लेटर को वापस कर देना चाहिए, वो पब्लिक डोमेन की चीज है, वो पर्सनल तो है।
आप देश की सेवा में आते हैं, आपका पर्सनल कुछ नहीं रहता, आपका हर पत्राचार, आपकी हर बातचीत, हर मीटिंग, हर मुलाकात पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आती है, और वो जो चीजें हैं उस दौरान हुई, घटित हुई, वो सब कुछ नेहरू मेमोरियल में दे देना चाहिए, ताकि देश जाने पास्ट में क्या हुआ था।
Earlier, my colleague Marish Shakil spoke to Prime Minister Museum's Rizwan Qadri.
डॉक्टर कादरी, क्योंकि ये पूरा पॉलिटिकल डोमेन में अब प्ले आउट हो रहा है, भाजपा ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया है, कांग्रेस ने भी इसका जवाब दिया। उनका कहना है कि भाजपा डाइवर्ट कर रही है रियल इश्यूज से। लेकिन जो भाजपा का आरोप है, उनका ये कहना है कि नेहरू जी ने एडवीना माउंटबेटन को ऐसा क्या लिखा था जिसके लिए सेंसरशिप करने की ज़रूरत पड़ी, इसीलिए गांधी परिवार ये चिट्ठी नहीं दे रहा है वापस लाइब्रेरी को।
हमारे बुजुर्ग साथी सदस्य माननीय राम बहादुर राय जी ने AGM में भी ये बात रखी थी, और साथ में उन्होंने कहा था कि पास्ट में ये लेडी माउंटबेटन पेपर्स के लिए उन्होंने और वो जमाने के तत्कालीन MP मदन लाल खुराना जी ने पुलिस कंप्लेन भी किया था। FIR दर्ज नहीं हुआ था, मगर कंप्लेन होने के बाद ये पूरा कलेक्शन वापस इस संस्था में रख दिया गया था। राम बहादुर राय जी ने साफ बताया था कि यहाँ से ही संस्था के प्रतिनिधि की ओर से वहां पर इंग्लैंड जाके ये ओरिजिनल कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस लाया गया था, और बरसों तक इसी नेहरू मेमोरियल संस्था यानी कि प्रधानमंत्री संग्रहालय के अंदर ही ये सारा कलेक्शन रहता था। ठीक है, उसको पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं रखा गया था, संशोधकों को दिखाया नहीं जाता था, परमिशन लेना होता था, मगर इसके अंदर ऐसी तो क्या बात है कि उसको विड्रॉ करना पड़ा है। और मैं मानता हूँ जितना छुपाएंगे इतना लोगों का और उसके बारे में शक बढ़ता जाए।
जी, मेरा आखिरी सवाल ये है कि आपने एक चिट्ठी लिखी सितंबर के महीने में सोनिया गांधी जी को डायरेक्टली, अभी दिसंबर में राहुल गांधी को चिट्ठी लिखी है। अगर दोनों चिट्ठी में जवाब नहीं आता है तो फिर आगे क्या करेंगे?
हम और आगे भी चिट्ठी लिखते रहेंगे, अलग अलग माध्यम से हमारी बात, हमारा जो व्यू है वो रखेंगे, हम रिक्वेस्ट करते रहेंगे, और जो लीगल एक्शन की बात है अलग अलग सम्मानीय सदस्यों द्वारा बताया गया उस दिशा में भी संस्थान की ओर से कार्यवाही जरूर से होगी, और उसमें हमारा मकसद तो सिर्फ संशोधन करना है, हम उसी के ऊपर अड़े रहेंगे और हमारी रिक्वेस्ट हर हमेशा जारी रहेगी। अलग अलग माध्यम से भी हम कोशिश करेंगे, जैसे एडवीना माउंटबेटन पेपर्स है जिस डोनर ने इस संस्थान को दिए थे उनके पास भी इसका कॉपी होगा, तो हम इंग्लैंड जाके भी कोशिश करेंगे कि वहां हमको इसका कॉपी मिले,
और,
जिससे
और
पता
इसके
चलेगा
साथ साथ क्या लीगल ऑप्शन भी आप लोग देख रहे हैं, एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं?
ये तो आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव साइड से पूछेंगे तो वो आपको ज्यादा जवाब देंगे।
All right, Dr. Rizwan Qadri, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV.
One nation, one election bill is likely to be tabled in the Lok Sabha tomorrow. In fact, the ONOP bill is likely to be brought in the Lok Sabha on December 17th, is what the sources are telling us. The ONOP bill, in fact, will go to the JPC after it being tabled in Lok Sabha at around noon. Now, BJP has issued a 3-line whip to all its MPs to be present in the Lok Sabha.
इस सरकार अपनी तानाशाही से बाज नहीं आ रही, उसे पहले सर्वदलीय बैठक बुला के इस पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए थी। और ऐसे भी आज है वन इलेक्शन वन नेशन, फिर होगा वन नेशन वन पार्टी, और फिर होगा वन नेशन वन लीडर। तो जो मंसूबे हैं उनको हम कभी पूरे नहीं होने देंगे। संविधान में संशोधन करना पड़ेगा, कहाँ से लाएंगे 2/3 बहुमत? तो ये तो एक सिगुफेबाजी है।
देखिए, सरकार ने ये फैसला मोदी जी ने के नेतृत्व में किया है और बिल्कुल सही है। देश में जो चुनाव हो रहे हैं वो पूरे 5 साल जब चुनाव चलते हैं तब कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लगता है, पैसा भी अधिक से लगता है, और ठीक है राजनीतिक हालात हर स्टेट में अलग हो सकते हैं। सवाल ये है कि वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हो जाएगा तो काम करने में उसकी बहुत ही उसमें फ़ायदा होगा, पैसे की बचत भी होगी, और मैं समझता हूँ देश के हित में होगा।
Initiating the constitution debate in the Rajya Sabha, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in fact hit out at the Congress party and said Congress party carried out major amendments to the constitution to brazenly help the family and the dynasty. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha LOP Mallikarjun Kharge hit back at the BJP and said Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India and he became the LOP only because of the contributions of former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and others in making the constitution.
Periodically, Congress questions, hey, BJP, RSS, Johnson, what was your role during the freedom movement? We all know it and we've said it, but I want to ask the Congress, what is your role in the Arctic, India's economic freedom? What is India's economic growth? What is your effort in building economic strength of India? Why in 1980 onwards, the Congress party itself wants to dump license quota Raj, 91 they want to reform and then take the claim for it saying we are the ones we reformed. You didn't have to reform if it was so good. It was damaging the Indian economy and socialism was therefore brought into the Constitution's preamble through the 42nd Act only to Amendment Act, only to prove that they are doing right thing.
ये जुमले वाले लोग देश को भ्रमित कर रहे हैं और असत्य बातें बोलकर लोगों को धोखा दे रहे हैं। ये गोबेल्स से भी ज्यादा, गोबेल्स जो झूठ उन्होंने असत्य बातें करते थे उससे भी 100 गुना ये लोग करते हैं। सर, पीएम या तो अतीत में रहते हैं या कल्पना लोक में। ऐसा लगता है कि वर्तमान उनकी डिक्शनरी में नहीं है। बेहतर होता कि तो वो बता देते कि 11 साल में ऐसा कौन सा काम किया है जिससे हमारा लोकतंत्र और संविधान मजबूत हुआ।
The Anti-Corruption Bureau of Telangana has registered a case against BRS leader and former Minister K.T. Rama Rao in connection with the alleged irregularities during the Formula E race held in Hyderabad in February 2023. Former Municipal Administration and Urban Development Principal Secretary Arvind Kumar admitted transferring 55 crore funds to the event organizers on KTR's verbal orders. The Allahabad High Court allowed the transit anticipatory bail for 4 weeks to Sushil Singhania, the uncle of estranged wife of 34-year-old Bengaluru techie Atul Subhash, in connection with the abetment to suicide case. The uncle of the deceased wife is facing an FIR lodged in Karnataka, and the Allahabad High Court has now granted him relief so that he can invoke appropriate legal remedies before the court of competent jurisdiction in Karnataka. Short break. On the other side, news and updates will continue. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and India's Special Representative on India-China boundary question will hold the 23rd meeting of the SRs in Beijing on 18 December 2024 with his Chinese counterpart, Mr. Yang Yi, as agreed during the meeting of the two leaders in Kazan on 23rd October 2024. The SRs will discuss the management of peace and tranquility in the border areas and explore a fair, reasonable and mutually acceptable solution to the boundary question. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held his first bilateral meeting with newly elected Sri Lankan President Dissanayake at Hyderabad House in Delhi. India and Sri Lanka signed 4 key agreements. Most importantly, Dissanayake gave India a key security assurance. Sri Lanka's territory will not be used for any activity that is detrimental to India.
In his first foreign visit, the newly elected Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake assured India that its territory won't be used for terrorism.
कि फिजिकल, डिजिटल और एनर्जी कनेक्टिविटी हमारी भागीदारी के अहम स्तंभ होंगे। दोनों देशों के बीच इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ग्रिड कनेक्टिविटी और मल्टी प्रोडक्ट पेट्रोलियम पाइपलाइन स्थापित करने पर काम किया जाएगा।
This came at a time when China is looking to expand its influence in Indian Ocean region. Chinese missile tracking ships and warships have been docking at different ports in Sri Lanka. During the bilateral meeting, Prime Minister spoke about civilizational connect between India and Sri Lanka and shared how India is going to invest in public-centric projects.
I have always also given an assurance to the Prime Minister of India that we will not allow our land to be used in any way in a manner that is detrimental to the interest of India.
The Prime Minister also reminded the Sri Lankan President about the critical issue of Tamil minorities in the country and asked him for full implementation of the Constitution.
हमने श्रीलंका में रिकंस्ट्रक्शन और रिकंसिलिएशन पर भी बात की। राष्ट्रपति दिशा नायक ने अपने समावेशी दृष्टिकोण के बारे में मुझे बताया। हम आशा करते हैं कि श्रीलंका सरकार तमिलों की आकांक्षाओं को पूरा करेगी और श्रीलंका के संविधान के पूर्ण इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और प्रोविंशियल काउंसिल इलेक्शन कराने की अपनी प्रतिबद्धता को पूरा करेगी।
Prime Minister's statement on Tamil minorities assumes significance as India has been raising issues on the state of minorities in Bangladesh. With the new government in office, India is looking for a long-term investment and people-centric diplomacy in Sri Lanka. With Mohammad Ghazali, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Thank you for your presence, ladies and gentlemen.
Canada's Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, in fact, on one of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's most powerful and loyal ministers, unexpectedly resigned on Monday over a policy clash with the Prime Minister, dismissing his plans for increased spending as political gimmicks. Freeland quit just hours before she was due to present a fall economic update to Parliament, a document widely expected to show the minority Liberal government had a much larger budget deficit than predicted. In the first public remarks attributed to Bashar al-Assad since he left Syria, the dispossessed Syrian president has defended his rule and denied planning his departure as armed opposition fighters closed in on Damascus earlier this month. The statement said to be written by al-Assad was released on Syrian presidency Telegram channel, in which he said as the Syrian capital fell to the rebels, he went to a Russian military base in Lanka and to oversee the combat operations. The airbase had also come under intensified attack by drone strikes, and Russians had decided to airlift him to Moscow.